I'm Tia Borden with MiningIR, and beside me is Phil Newall, Director of Wardell Armstrong International. Phil, thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.
Can you give us a little background on the company?
Yeah, Wardell Armstrong is a multifaceted mining consultancy group. We pretty much cover everything from assisting clients with their exploration, right through all the main mining, metallurgy, environmental disciplines, through to ultimately mine closure. I guess our USP is we have a fully functioning mineral processing test work facility, which I think is unique in the space. So we really can do that turnkey service for clients. And at the moment, obviously, we're given the end of 2022, things are pretty busy out there.
Mm-hmm. And things have been tough the last little while. How do you see the markets changing in the coming years or months?
Yeah, since COVID, it's been very busy, and I think that's been a function of the fact that a lot of companies have had to take a look at themselves and see actually, what can we get done in this period where the world is in a state of flux, to say the least, and I think that's benefited us. Where it's all going, well, as you can see in the marketplace out here behind me, there is certainly a huge amount of interest in metals and minerals in general, and that's not going to change, just because, as we know, to get to where the world needs to go by the 2050, 2060, whatever dates those are, the world's got to do an awful lot more mining than it's ever done in the past. And it's up to us as miners to achieve that. But of course, we're in a market where costs are high, as everybody knows who's trying to pay their fuel bills, and it's the same in mining, but metal prices are still too low. So a lot of the projects that are being, trying to be developed out here on the marketplace, at the moment, they're not economic because the clients can't raise the money and the prices aren't high enough. And that's a bit of a catch-22 situation.
And how do you see that change unfolding?
Well, the only really thing that can change is, given that we are in an inflationary high-cost environment, because that's not going to go away in a hurry, as we all know, is prices have to go up. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking of the key base metal prices, and the one that always jumps out is copper. That's the one that. And everybody says, you go to all the various price forecasters. What's the copper price going to be in 2 years' time? They'll also, 10,000 plus or whatever that number is. But they've been saying that now for a couple of years, and it's pushed once and then it's come back off. But that underpins a huge amount of what the world needs to do. And until such time as those prices lift, a lot of these projects won't get off the ground. And that's the frightening thing, because I'm sure we've all seen the statistics of just how much metal is required to get from here to the state where the world is effectively carbon neutral. And it's just, what do they say? Something like, twice as amount of metal that's ever been mined previously. How are we going to do that? That's a massive issue. And
where are you seeing the activity take place?
I think the junior sector is doing its best, given that it is, let's call it, cash starved at the moment. Africa continues to still provide a hotbed of exploration targets, and is also good for the majors, for bigger projects. We're seeing a lot more interest in Europe, which for many years went, I'd say, a little cold. But I think developers now are saying, okay, we can maybe put up with a slightly lower commodity grade, or maybe higher cost to work in Europe, but because you've got stability of, security of tenure, which of course is key to any mining operation, Europe has become much more popular, and that's the Scandinavian countries. It's through the Balkans. We're doing a huge amount of work in Spain and Portugal, and that's clearly exciting for us. It's it's in our backyard, but it's good for clients as well, that they know that their projects are secure, which it counts for everything. If you're going to invest in something, if you think about as a simple thing a takeaway, who would really invest in mining? If you pair it back to give me $200 million in year one, and we'll give you some returns in 5-6 years time if you're lucky. It's not a great sell, is it?
Mm-hmm.
So over the years, mining has actually done very well at funding itself. But of course, all those problems are around us every day, and what's happening left field in the world doesn't help anybody at all, and it's just making things tough for everyone. But the future is very, very bright, and any youngsters going into this industry right now are just going to have an absolute field day. It's going to be fantastic for them.
And how long do you think that will take to see that change?
Well, almost everybody I've spoken to out there, they're all kind of waiting for these price corrections to happen.
Yeah.
It's got to be very short-termist. Things have got to start moving, because every month we have where the markets are like they are now, just adds on to that end date where the world will get to where it wants to go. And it's, it's all linked, everything's linked together.
And Phil, what are you hoping to gain from being at the conference this week?
I think it's, and we come to this one every year, and a lot of it is catching up with existing clients, and it's just cementing the brand relationship. But it is developing new clients as well, and really, as one of the smaller international mining consultants, we pride ourselves on a very personal approach to clients, and they like that. And it's all about it's just bonding. It's like any relationship. You have a good relationship, somebody will probably give you some work. If you have a bad relationship, they'll probably wave goodbye.
That is very true.
That's it. That's just simplicity.
Before I let you go, Phil, is there anything else that you'd like to share with our viewers?
I think I'll say again, certainly for any younger people watching this, as a career opportunity, and that's whether you're a geologist, a mining engineer, a metallurgist, or you're involved obviously in the ESG side of things. This is an absolutely fascinating industry, and it's taken on this new mantle, and it has been referred to as the new industrial revolution, and it is, because we've gone from our traditional metals to now a bunch of metals which are desperately needed for this future we all want. Some of them are rare, some of them are common, but putting this all together and making it work, that's our job, and it's going to be exciting.
It sounds like it's going to be a great year ahead.
Yeah.
Lots to look forward to. Phil,
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
You're welcome.